Is $2.2 billion enough for the WNBA media rights package? There's a women's basketball pioneer that says, $2.2 billion ain't getting it done. Let's get into it. Jump right into the screen. Cheryl Miller is that legend, by the way. She says that the league reported 11-year, $2.2 billion media rights package is a, quote, lowball. Let's hear her explain it in her own words.
There's reporting about a $2.2 billion media rights deal out there.
There's rumor of it?
Reporting about the next media rights deal.
Then if you, I'm not great with numbers, lowball.
All right, so lowball, right? So now 11 years, $2.2 billion. That's $200 million a year, okay? That's $200 million every year for the streaming rights of the WNBA.
Why do you say that?
That's a lowball. You're saying how much?
2.2 billion over 11
Not
years.
enough.
So there's a lot to be had there, right? That sounds like a huge number, but the league is currently making around $60 million per season. So you're going from $60 million per in this current deal to about $200 million per in this alleged reported new deal.
Not even close. Now, I'm not trying to inflate it a whole lot, but a 2's nice, and 8 would be better.
8 would be better. So $8 billion. Now, where would that $8 billion put them? Let's go ahead and tap in and see where we could find $8 billion. We know it's not NFL money. NFL is over $100 billion. We know it's not NBA. NBA allegedly in this new deal is going to be about $75 billion. MLB is about $12 billion, so still under them. NASCAR, $7 billion. So Cheryl Miller's proposing that the WNBA media rights package should be more than NASCAR, should be more than hockey, should be more than the Olympics. I kind of think I agree. I think that $2.2 billion, while that's certainly more than the 60 that they were getting before, certainly more than the 60. And I understand that 300% increase sounds amazing in a press release. And it sounds like that's the progress that we expect in a sport that has made a humongous jump, certainly over the last 12 months, but has been making steady progress over the last decade and change. But if you're Cheryl, you see the larger picture. All these numbers are jumping. The player salaries are finally increasing. Still not where they should be, but they're making progress. When you're looking at what you're getting in stars like Caitlin Clark, when you're looking at what you're getting in stars like Angel Reese, when you see the future crop that's coming in a Juju Watkins, are you sure if you're the WNBA, you want to go out there and sell 11 years? Because that's essentially what you think is going to be Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese's prime years, as well as Juju. Do you want to hand over that prime, that peak, those future memories that you're expecting from not only what you have right now in the current crop, because you still got Breanna Stewart, you still got Asia Wilson, you still got stars right now, but now you have all this influx of new talent. You want to sell that off for just $200 million? That to me is a low ball, but I'll let Cheryl put it better in her words.
That's what I'm talking about, because they know. They know. And we certainly...
They, as in the media, they know. The networks that are trying to cash out, they know how much bigger this thing is going to get. This is just the first jump. And I think that's what Cheryl is trying to imply here. I'll come up the screen. I think that's what Cheryl's trying to imply here. Like, look, don't give it away so quick. Make them earn it. Make them work for it. Make them pay your worth, because it's up here. It's like that pie chart, and you see like it's been a steady climb, and then you just get that first spike. Like the whole Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese thing, that's the first spike. That's like Magic and Bird in the NBA. You know, the NBA was kind of down in the dumps, and then they got that first bump with Magic and Bird. All right, cool. But then they got the Jordan bump. And then it just kept going, Kobe, then LeBron, and it just kept going and going and going. Right now, you're the WNBA. You're at that Magic and Bird spike. Do you really want to give it all away so that when a potential Jordan comes, you're locked in to what the price was at the Magic and Bird era? That is what Cheryl Miller is trying to say, that they, as in the media, they know this is just the first big spike. There's plenty more spikes to go, and you're already handing over the prime for a 300% increase when it could be double, triple, quadruple that.
Certainly have come a long way. And I'm not about gouging, but it's a long time overdue. And we're going to continue to get better and better. All you have to do is look at, college basketball and what's coming next, the next wave, the next wave of excitement. And you have this now.
Conferences
and
splitting up.
Pretty soon we're going to add another
Everyone's
gold
cashing
medal.
out.
So women's basketball is in a great place right now.
It is.
Just what do you need to do then in your mind to go from 2.2 billion to an 8 billion, as you say?
Now, here's the thing. Are they going to get 8? There is no chance in hell that they're going to get 8, right? It would take, unless Cheryl's got that type of sway, which she should. But in terms of business, that's a different animal we're talking about. But are they going to get 8? No. But if this rant, if these points can hit home and drive it, so now instead of that 2.2, maybe they get 4.4, maybe they get 5. You meet somewhere in the middle. They're saying 2.2, we're saying 8. Let's meet somewhere in the middle. That's about 4.5. This is masterful negotiation. I hope she's in the room when they're talking about this. I hope this is not just her being a mouthpiece and then they go into those boardrooms and then they fold. I hope that the Cheryl Miller piece here actually resonates and hits home with whoever is debating with the NBA and the WNBA and the media rights partners, because it's not just a thing where the WNBA can go out there and just go get whatever package that they want. They still got to come back to the crib and talk to the NBA, because the bread gets spread out, and there's a little bit of that funny money like we talk about in the NFL. There's a little bit of that when it comes to the WNBA. If we go here, another important element to note is that the WNBA controls just a small portion of its own destiny, okay? The league takes in only about 40% of its own revenue after the NBA and outside investors get their share, and less than 10% of the total revenue actually finds its way into player salaries under the current CBA. Now, here's a footnote, right? There's a lot there, right? There's a lot to break down. You only get 40% of your own revenue, and only 10%, less than 10% gets into the players, but the players can opt out in 2025 and renegotiate that split. But still, how much more do you see them getting in a new CBA deal? Like it'll be more, right? But how much more? If it's less than 10%, what is it going to be in the next CBA? Less than 20? It should be up there in the range of the NFL and the NBA, where it's almost a 50-50 split, and even a little bit better than a 50-50 split. But can they get that off? You got to have your strong union. Your WNBPA, I'm assuming, needs to be that strong and be on that type of time to get that type of deal done. It continues, even taking into account that the league receives only about 40% of its own revenue. Quick back of envelope math shows that the players are missing out. In 2023, Bloomberg projected that the league would make between 180 and 200 mil. With the league's cut at 42%, that leaves between 75 and 84 million for the teams. The salary cap that year was 1.4 mil per team, meaning just over 17 million, or less than a quarter of the revenue teams received, went to players. It's a model that has helped the WNBA survive through years of unprofitability, but this new deal should close that gap. The next question for growth for the league will be if or when it wants to break from its men's counterpart, which is considered but ultimately did not do for which is considered but ultimately did not do for this set of media rights negotiation. The WNBA's deals are worth less than 3% of the NBA's. Okay, so there's been talk of breaking away from the NBA. I think that's ultimately what it's going to have to take for the women to get their just due in terms of the bread. Because with what Cheryl is saying is that, okay, we needed the NBA's help to survive, right? To get this thing off the ground, to get the players in there, to get a structure, to get these franchises, and just to establish itself as a presence. Now we have established ourselves as a presence, and now we have the players that are going to be not just fundamentally sound, not just good players. You have now legitimate crossover superstars in the WNBA. That now can propel this league to stand on its own feet and be 10 toes down on its own. This deal reminds me a lot of the Patrick Mahomes deal, where it sounds great when you say it out loud. 10 years, $500 million. 11 years, $2.2 billion. But in the Mahomes case, within a year or two, his owner was saying, that man's underpaid, and I'll never be able to pay him his actual worth because he gave away all his prime negotiating years. And yes, you can restructure and move bonuses around and find some guaranteed money and extend here and all, but you already gave away all your leveraging power. You gave away all your negotiating power by signing away 10 years of your prime. And I think the WNBA is in a same type of situation. You're on the upswing. There's no down. The stars are coming, and there's more coming. Juju's coming. There's more in the pipeline that are coming. This sport is only going to go up. It's only going to go up. So by no means do you leverage away your prime right now. Why? Why would you do that? I'll let Cheryl finish it off.
We need tough and fair negotiators and visionaries.
Agreed.
And we need a bully.
Facts.
We need a bully behind the table
Facts.
that's willing to say, you know, we'll break up the pieces and go from there. But there's a certain number bigger than two that we want.
No doubt. No doubt. Cheryl bodied this. Cheryl bodied this, and whether she's low-key negotiating or if she was just speaking her mind and hoping that it might spur the folks in those offices to get right from the WNBA players' perspective, no matter what was the driving force behind it, the fact that she stood 10 toes down and spoke truth to power, I think is smart, it's ingenious, and it shows a legend being able to use her platform and leverage negotiation. This is negotiating in public. You say 2.2, I say 8. Now talk to me. Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice. You're saying 2, I'm saying 8. Find me somewhere between 4 and 6, and let's get this deal done, and let's really cash out. The players should be able to cash out. The media rights package is still going to get done. They're not going to lose media rights. It's just, hey, Caitlin Clark is going to cook up. That story's not going anywhere. She's a superstar. No matter what you think about her, she's a superstar. Angel Reese is a superstar. Aja Wilson's already a superstar. We still got Breonna Stewart. We still have enough pieces, and the ratings are only going to go up. It is a low ball. Even though it's hard to sell a fan, it's hard to sell a common person, a normal person with a regular income, that $2.2 billion is a low ball. It definitely is in this case for the WNBA.